Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to another episode of the Tigers Baseball Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Schulte. Let's get into it. This episode being recorded on Sunday, August 25th, 2024. Happy birthday to my dear grandmother. She turns 98 this year. She has dementia, so she probably doesn't even remember what 98 means. Anyway, all that being said, happy birthday. Let's get into it. Let's start with the injury report. Some good news on that front. Casey Mize will probably be back. He made a rehab start yesterday. Looked pretty good, apparently. That was his fourth rehab start. And so he should be back on, Thursday. Yeah, that would be about right. Because... well, I don't know how that's going to work out because Montero pitched on Friday. So he would start on Wednesday. Skubal pitched on Saturday. He'd start on Thursday. So Mize would possibly start on Friday. But with that being said, they are trying to monitor Skubal's innings a little bit. So, that might have something to play into whether he starts on Friday or Saturday. So we don't know. We'll see. It depends on what AJ Hinch wants to do. But Casey Mize will come off the 60-day injured list right on time and make his next major league. His next start will be in the big leagues, and that's a good thing because Detroit needs the help in the rotation. So there you go. Alex Faedo, congratulations to him on the birth of his child. However, he was put on the paternity list and then moved to the 15-day injured list with right shoulder soreness. Now, it's August 25th. He was moved today to the list. My guess is we don't see Alex Faedo again this year. Considering what Reese Olson is going through, and he had a mild shoulder strain. Reese Olson, by the way, threw off a bullpen mound on Wednesday, and his pen session was a 20-pitch session. He said he felt pretty good, so that's a good thing. However, so the time frame that it's going to take Alex Faedo just isn't coming back this year. We can expect that. We can pretty much guarantee that. And you know what? That's okay. You want to take these things slow. You want to make sure that these things are done the right way. So I don't have a problem with that. Not that it really matters to me. Not that my opinion matters to AJ Hinch and Scott Harris, but I approve, guys, just so you know. If you can't tell already, I'm in a very good mood tonight. The Tigers have taken the first 3 games in a 4-game series, a 4-game wraparound series with the Chicago White Sox. They are 1 game below the 500 mark, which is a big deal. They have not been at 500 or better since early June, I believe. So this is a big deal. And you know what? This is what you do when you want to start winning and developing a winning culture. You have to have winning seasons. And in order to have those winning seasons, one of the things that needs to happen is you need to... well, I'm sorry, if you want to build, in order to start winning and bringing in titles and things of that nature, you have to start winning and learning how to win first. Learn to have a winning season, then learn how to win a division, learn how to win a wild card spot. It takes time, but this is a step in the right direction. Should they be able to make it? Now, let's see. There's 31 games left in the year. They could very easily go 0-31 and finish with a 65 and 100 and, or sorry, a 65 and 97 record. I highly doubt that, but it's possible. They could go 31-0 and catch Cleveland and finish with 96 and 66 record. That would be good. I'd be happy with that. That's not going to happen, but it'd make me a happy camper if it did. They could go 16 and 15 and finish 81 and 81, and that would be what they need to do. They need to win 16 of their next 31 games, and I think they've got that in them. They got one more against Chicago tomorrow night. They've got 3 against the Angels. They got 3 against the Red Sox. They go to San Diego and Oakland next week. Sorry, on the second. Really weird series in San Diego. They'll play on the 2nd. They have the 3rd off, and then they play on the 4th and 5th, and then go to Oakland the 6th, 7th, and 8th. Then they come home. They've got Baltimore. They've got Colorado. They go to Baltimore. They go to Kansas City. They've got Tampa Bay at home, and then they've got Chicago at home to finish the year. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that they can go 16 and 15 in the next 31 games. You got to figure they're going to get at least 3 wins against Chicago. They should, keyword being should, take 2 out of 3 against LA. Although LA took 2 out of 3 and 3 out of 4, in Los Angeles, but Detroit never plays well out in Los Angeles. Detroit doesn't play well on the West Coast, unless it's Seattle. So they should take 2 out of 3 against LA. Not really sure what's going to happen against Boston. Not really sure what's going to happen against San Diego. Oakland. Last year in Oakland, they split the series 2 games apiece. This year, you just never know. Because Oakland came in and took 2 out of 3 against Detroit very early in the year in the opening week of the season, as a matter of fact. They should take 2 out of 3 against Colorado. Kansas City's a crapshoot. Baltimore's a crapshoot. They should take 2 out of 3 against Tampa. So if they take 2 out of 3 against LA, if they take 3 of the next 5 against Chicago, against the White Sox, that's 5. If they take 2 out of 3 against Boston, that's 7. And 2 out of 3 against Tampa, that's 9. And 2 out of 3 against Colorado, that's 11. They've got 5 wins somewhere. They can 2 series against Baltimore, a series against San Diego, a series against Oakland, and a series against Kansas City. If there's not 5 wins in those 5 series, then that's a problem. But you never know. Baseball is funny, and we'll see what happens. But they have a very good chance of finishing 81 and 81, and that would make me happy because that's a 500 season. I would like to see them 82 and 80 because that's an above 500 season. That's a winning season. But you just never know. So there you go. Spencer Torkelson has looked good in his return. And I'm happy to see that. Riley Green is hitting well again. Kerry Carpenter is consistent. He's seeing a lot of spin. He's seeing a lot of curveballs and sliders. But he's still not missing fastballs, which is good. Jace Young has looked very good in his debut. Trey Sweeney has looked very good in his debut. Dylan Dingler, on the other hand, is a little bit off. But, I'm going to give Dylan Dingler a pass. Because Dylan Dingler not only has to hit, but he has to catch a pitching staff, and that pitching staff is a pitching staff right now that's being held together with spit and duct tape. And I'm not I'm not mad about the fact that he might not necessarily hit very well right now, because not only does he has to learn how to hit major league pitching, but he also has to be able to catch a major league game and call a major league game. And he has to do what AJ Hinch likes to ask of his catchers. He says, just catch a winner. I don't care what you do after that. Just catch a winner. And Dylan Dingler is trying to learn how to do that. And so I'll give him a bit of a pass. And, outside of that, I'm pretty pleased with what the rookies are doing. Javi Baez, by the way, on the 10-day injured list with lower spine and hip soreness. Again, I don't expect to see him back this year, simply because of the fact that Trey Sweeney's been getting most of the playing time anyway. So I don't really think Detroit wants to keep Javi Baez around. I think they're going to try to find a way to move him somehow in the offseason. He might retire, seeing as how he's having some injury issues, some back issues this year, and he's just not performing up to what he's capable of, and he knows he's capable of. But I won't be surprised if we see Javi Baez gone on opening day of next year. I will be very surprised if Javi Baez breaks camp as a Detroit Tiger in 2025. Not out of my mind surprised, because he's under contract for the next 3 years still. But I figure there's probably somewhere that there's going to be some way that they're going to move that contract somehow. Even if they've got to pay a majority of that contract, they might just trade him somewhere for a bucket of baseballs and call it a day. But I don't know. I think his days as a Tiger are numbered. And I don't see him coming back this year. Again, he's on the 10-day injured list. He's still got to do rehab and things of that nature. I just have a feeling that they're going to just they're going to take this rehab and go as slow as possible with it to not even have to worry about him coming back this year, so that they can have a little bit more of a runway with these younger players. So with that, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. We will talk to you next week. I thank everybody for listening. If you want to get in touch with the show, you can. Twitter is @PodcastTigers. Mastodon is @TBPodcast@tweezcake.social. You can email the show, TigersBaseballPodcast@gmail.com. It's the world's longest email address. I'm proud of that. Finishing up with the White Sox, then we got the Angels and the Red Sox coming up this week. I will be back next Sunday to talk about it. Until then, thanks for listening, and go Tigers.